Commerce Alive Today presents
G. Fox. G. Fox Company was established in 1847 by Gerson Fox and his brother, Isaac Fox, and was named I. G. Fox Company. The first G. Fox store was a single-room storefront opened in Hartford, Connecticut. When Isaac sold his interest to his brother, Gerson renamed the company G. Fox & Company. Gerson's son, Moses, joined the business in 1863, and took over the store in 1880, upon Gerson's death. The early Fox store was famous for home delivery, by wheelbarrow. The store had grown to 5 floors when it burned to the ground in January 1917. Moses Fox, 66 at the time, announced that work would begin immediately on an 11-story replacement structure. The new flagship store was located at 960 Main Street in downtown Hartford. History has it that the original store and offices, destroyed by fire, were rebuilt because the store's customers rallied and paid approximately 95% of all outstanding bills, voluntarily. Encouraged by the response, Moses Fox had the new store designed by New York architect Cass Gilbert, as an 11-story behemoth, initially dubbed Fox's Folly, in reference to its sheer scale. The new store opened in 1918. The fire served as impetus for Beatrice Fox Auerbach, Moses's daughter, and her husband, George Samuel Auerbach, to return to Hartford from Salt Lake City to help with the business. George died in 1927 and Beatrice then began working alongside her father. Mrs. Auerbach's belief in customer service was so focused that employees were charged with making sure every customer was satisfied, regardless of the cost. While the sales staff was not permitted to make final decisions in this area, Mrs. Auerbach's service managers had the last word, even to the extent that, on rare occasion, they were permitted to override a merchant's decision and take charge to satisfy a customer's need. While no service manager was ever chastised in this effort, an occasional merchant received the dreaded summons to the 11th floor to be reminded by Mrs. Auerbach personally of her commitment to customer satisfaction. Further evidence of the store's commitment to service had a small staff of the service management personnel and 2 or 3 drivers on duty, sometimes until after midnight, on Christmas Eve to dispatch replacements for gifts that had not been received in time to be placed under the tree for Christmas. Throughout the mid-20th century, the store continued to grow exclusively at its downtown Hartford location. Against prevailing trends, Mrs. Auerbach believed that branch stores only detracted from the appeal of the flagship store. This was, in no small part, due to the failure of Foxmart, a farm equipment and supply branch of G. Fox in Connecticut's Tobacco Valley. Instead of creating branch locations and in an effort to reach out to her distant customers, Mrs. Auerbach had about 1/3 of the 11th floor toy department carved out and expanded the store's telephone order facility. As part of this effort, the company added direct phone lines to every exchange in Connecticut and parts of Massachusetts and Rhode Island. In 1947, 2 years after World War II ended, G. Fox celebrated its 100th birthday. The G. Fox flagship store was known for customer attractions, including a large walk-through Christmas display and a talking myna bird housed in a huge cage located on the 5th floor. The store was a pioneer in exhibiting home furnishings in an actual home setting, including kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, and dens. There were 2 restaurants located on the 2nd floor. One was a lunch bar, while the Connecticut room was more elegant and featured sit-down meals with table service. Occasionally, G. Fox hosted a fashion show while patrons dined. After the 1965 sale of the store to the May Department Stores Company, G. Fox began an ambitious expansion beyond its Hartford base, building its first branch store in 1969 in Waterbury and thus beginning a 12-store branch expansion that continued until the chain was folded into the May Company's Filene's division in 1992. As a result of this merger, coupled with the severe recession that took hold of the regional economy in the early 1990s and the decline of Hartford's downtown retail environment, the flagship store and the executive offices were shuttered on January 29, 1993. Prior to the merger with Filene's, 2 additional G. Fox stores were announced in Albany, New York and Stamford, Connecticut. The Albany store eventually opened at Crossgates Mall, but under the Filene's banner in 1994, and the Stamford store, part of a proposed mall with an existing Lord Taylor, was never built. Eventually, a Filene store would open at the nearby Stamford Town Center Mall in 1996 in a former J.C. Penney location, but it would close in 2004. On February 1, 1993, the remaining G. Fox Company stores were rebranded as Filene's, until September 9, 2006, when most of that chain was converted to Macy's, after corporate parent May Company's merger with Federated Department Stores was completed on August 30, 2005, and Federated rebranded its corporate self as Macy's, Inc. After being abandoned for almost a decade, the downtown Hartford G. Fox building was reopened in the fall of 2002 as a mixed-use commercial complex known as 960 Main. The building now houses street-level retail space, office space, meeting facilities, the Gershon Fox Room, in honor of one of the founders of the store, and the campus for Capital Community College. This renovation and adaptive reuse maintained many of the Art Deco interior and exterior details while adding a large interior atrium and interior circulation space. In addition, a new and much larger parking garage was also built on the site of the original G. Fox garage on Market and Talcott Streets. The building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places within the department store historic district.
If you have any fond memories, please indicate it at the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and like.